Cioppino is a fish stew originating in San Francisco. It is considered an Italian-American dish. The All Recipes member who submitted this recipe calls it a wonderful seafood stew recipe and suggests that it be served with a loaf of warm, crusty bread for sopping up the delicious broth. First, chop 2 onions. Then chop 1 bunch of fresh parsley. Mince 2 cloves of garlic. Wash 1½ pounds of peeled and deveined large shrimp in a colander. Drain well. Next, rinse and drain 1½ pounds of bay scallops. Peel off and discard the small mussel attached to the side of the scallop. This small mussel is the tough, inedible portion of the scallop. Set the scallops aside. Scrub 18 small clams. Scrub 18 mussels and remove the beards, if any. Cut 1½ pounds of cod fillets into bite-sized chunks. Set all the seafood to the side. Let's begin by cooking the cioppino. In a large stock pot over medium-low heat, melt 3/4 cup of butter. Add the onions, the garlic, and the parsley. Cook the vegetables and parsley slowly, stirring occasionally until the onions are soft. Now, stir in 2 14½ ounce cans of stewed tomatoes. Break the tomatoes up into chunks with the edge of your spoon. Once the tomatoes are mixed in, it's time to add 2 14½ ounce cans of chicken broth, 2 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon of dried basil, ½ a teaspoon of dried thyme, ½ a teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 cup of water, and 1½ cups of white wine. Thoroughly mix the ingredients, then cover and simmer for 30 minutes. One All Recipes member suggests adding seafood in batches to accommodate for different cooking times. First, add the clams, then the mussels, and cook them for about 5 minutes or until they open. Then add the remaining seafood, the shrimp, the bay scallops, plus 1½ cups of fresh crab meat, and the cod. Place the crab meat and cod on top so it's easier to ladle out without breaking apart. Cover and bring to a low boil. Once the stew has begun to boil, reduce the heat. Now, simmer until the seafood is cooked through, about 5 minutes. Ladle the cioppino into bowls and serve it with warm, crusty bread. All Recipes members loved this stew and shared their ideas of how to personalize the recipe. Some suggested using fish stock instead of water, and to add a little heat, you might try adding ½ a teaspoon of red pepper flakes or use them as garnish.